I'm Carla Pratico, and Jesus saved me in a bar. My whole life, I was really just looking for people to approve of me and looking for, love. I was really good at school. I was president of my high school and then went on to college and joined probably about 15 different kind of honor societies or leadership organizations. And I really was looking just to feel important. Really agreed with the lie that unless I had this achievement, I really wasn't valuable. I was just looking for every avenue I could to feel important and to feel valuable. I became addicted to the achievement. I grew up in a Christian home, and I would say that I knew about Jesus on some measure. I never really believed that he cared much about me. After college, I got the apprenticeship of my absolute dreams. I moved to New York City to work with a Fortune 500 leadership consultant. Just got very quickly caught up into the nightlife scene. All consumed with partying and drinking and promiscuous activity. By day, I was kind of walking in this dream job, and then by night, I was staying up till 4 in the morning at clubs. I was surrounded by so much money. I'm surrounded by famous people, and I'm sort of like, who am I in this room? I'm a 22-year-old. What am I even doing here? These rich men would pay for me to get into these really expensive high-end places. Even just to get through the door was $1,000, not to mention the bottle service and the table. I mean, you could easily spend $5 to $10 grand a night. I was drinking 3 or 4 times a week, blackout drunk. It did help me escape kind of some of that pain that I was experiencing from just rejection and not feeling worthy and not feeling lovable. Escaping that pain was something I did with alcohol, and then the promiscuity, that piece was really trying to convince myself that I was lovable. It's like, if someone will take me home, that means I must be lovable. Then you wake up in the morning and they don't even remember your name. So I had been partying at night, working during the day, and my birthday was coming up. And so I invited what I call my nighttime friends to join me for my birthday. Only one person showed up. It was so sad. And she ends up going home, and I decide to stay at this bar by myself on my 23rd birthday. At this point, I'm like, well, I may as well find somebody to go home with. I'm talking to this guy. I'm vodka soda drunk, and I hear a voice, and it says, "This is not your life." And as soon as I heard those words, I knew they were true. It was almost as if someone had turned the lights on in the bar for me. It was like I could see clearly, even though I knew I was still drunk, and I needed to leave that bar instantly and go find what is life, what is my life. I immediately put my drink down. The guy is still probably trying to talk to me, and I just walked straight out of the bar, and I got in a cab, and as soon as I get in the back seat, I look up front, and there's actually a man and a woman. They agreed to take me home despite being off duty. The woman in the front seat, she said something to her husband, something like, "Doesn't God know it?" And I only caught that, a couple words, but I heard the word God. And I instantly knew that that voice that I had heard in the bar was God. I stuck my head through the little taxi window and I said, "Do you believe in God?" And they start sharing the gospel with me, just telling me what Jesus thinks about me and how much he loves me and that he died for me. And I had heard this story before, but for the first time in my life, it felt like it was just for me. Like I knew he came and just sovereignly cut through all the mess that I had made just for me. As they're talking to me, I instantly start repenting to these people. That night, everything changed. I started really looking for what my life was. I started pursuing who is this God person? If he could invade my life and speak to me in the middle of a Manhattan bar, what else could he do? What else was he like? I found a church. My pastor pulled me up to the front and laid hands on me, and I immediately felt just fire course through my entire body. And I start hearing myself praying in a language that I didn't understand. I couldn't have produced this on my own strength. This was extremely specifically a line in the sand with my walk with God. I was instantly delivered of cursing. I haven't had a sip of alcohol since that day. I stopped sleeping around. No one even had to tell me to stop sleeping around. I just didn't have the desire for it. I really just found myself constantly wanting to pray for people, to see the city of New York know him. God never, ever asked me to earn his love. It was never about the doing. It was never about getting it right. When we actually believe and know that we're loved and that we were first created and designed to be the object of God's affection, you start doing the things that align with his heart. There's a difference between the peace that the world thinks is peace and the peace that only Jesus can give you. That's one of the greatest gifts that I experienced when he saved me.